So Scott Honeycutt keeps on talking about God, family, Eagle Rock, the nation, you know. He's talking about God, family, and country. He didn't say nothing about an eagle. He didn't say nothing about a flag. He didn't say nothing about rock. He's talking about God, family, country. Where's Colorado? He's talking about America, not the state. He don't care about the state. So nationalism. It's a little tricky, right? House District 62. How about that? You like that? That's the best damn district ever, right? Those 7 counties or so. So, God, family, country. God. Okay, let's talk about that. God. Scott Honeycutt. You think there's an invisible man up in the clouds looking at us all damn day, and just judging us? Is he smiling when he's looking at all of us? He's just staring at us, right, like George Carlin with that stupid face? Or is he actually, you know, judging and just sitting there, you know, taking notes? And he's just sitting there watching us like we're some kind of ant farm. You know, even if I was watching an ant farm, I wouldn't be like, oh, I'm going to make sure you burn it, but you're not going to burn. It would seem kind of nuts, actually, to be condemning people left and right like that. So you think there's an invisible man, right? Invisible man up in the clouds. I don't see him. He's not up there. I'm a kind of a reality kind of guy. I'm a reality and logic and science kind of person. I believe in logic and reality, you know, like my perceptions, my senses, right? My sight, what I see, what I hear, what I feel, what I taste, what I hear, smell, taste, right? Your 5 plus, 12 other senses, balance and time, and yeah. So we have a problem if we're going to have these, Christians coming into office. That which you allow the Christians. Okay, so what's his policies? What do Christians? There's nothing wrong. You can be a dumbass if you want. You could think, fucking, there's an invisible man, right? Right, Scott Honeycutt, there's an invisible man up there, and he's all judging us. Is this invisible man in this room right now? Does this invisible man talk to you, Scott Honeycutt? Does this invisible man, is he talking to you right now? What's he saying right now? What's he saying to you right now? The only thing I'll say, just in quick defense, because I think religion is stupid, God, people who believe in God, the Christians, the ancient Christians, because they believed in God, they wouldn't bow down to the Roman emperor. They wouldn't bow down to the Romans. They only, the Romans soldiers, they only bowed down to, God, so they bowed down to no man. So it actually made them fucking revolutionary as fuck. No, I'm not going to bow down to you. Why? Well, my invisible man, he's the only one I bow down to. So, okay. Is this invisible man in the room right now talking to you? What's he saying? So what is this man saying, right? Is he wants to make sure none of our daughters in the San Luis Valley can get abortion? That's what this invisible man is telling you. Huh, Scott Honeycutt, that none of the daughters they got to get coat hanger abortions in the alley, in the sand dunes, huh? They got to get coat hanger. And if they got raped or in cases of incest, they're going to have to just take care of it themselves. You know, societies that have liberal laws on abortion have less abortions, and the ones that have conservative laws on it have more abortions, and they're more dangerous. So that's what your invisible man's telling you. No abortions, not even in cases of incest or rape. How about the morning after pill? And then he's a Republican, so what about the KKK? That's a Christian group right there. The Nazis, right? Donald loves the damn Nazis. You love America, you love, the Third Reich, the German, political party in the 1940s. Do you love America or the political party in the 1940s? That exterminated Jews, that exterminated an entire group of people, genocide. He wants our children to be able to openly worship him in our schools. That's what your invisible friend wants. Your invisible friend wants his name to be spoken in our public education and public schools. Yeah, because no invisible... What about the Keebler Elf? What about Count Chocula? We're going to worship Count Chocula too? We're going to have the Count Chocula religion and the Captain Crunch religion. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles religion. You know, fuck, we're just gonna believe in the shit that's not real and just make it real. And why do we say God's a he? That, you know, a creator, if there is something that created all the world, if there was a person, like God would be a woman, like of course that's, you know, life comes out of womankind. Womankind is what's perpetuating the species. So God is a man. So big ass, invisible man up in the clouds, huh? How big is this man? How big a boy is he? He's probably got like a huge dick, right? And then he's everywhere and watches. Does he watch me poop? 'Cause that was a mess. He saw all that. Woo! So, yeah, Psalms 127, verse 3 or 6 or 7, or 123. There's something about, happy are those who taketh thy children and dasheth them against the stones. Those who take kids and smash them against the stones. Those are okay. That's all right. Judges 19:29. That's about how this the stranger is running away. So you got this you got this massive group of criminal men who wants to rape this other man, and this man runs into the father's house, and the father says, "Hey, I'll protect the stranger, but I will not protect my daughter. Take my daughter instead." The daughter isn't taken. Instead, they take the concubine, the slave girl that, you know, daddy's fucking and pays her a penny to clean up everybody's dishes. Sends the concubine out, and the concubine gets raped all night. She crawls back dead, and then he, in order to, I guess, prove a point, chops her up into 12 pieces and sends a piece of the concubine to all the tribes. The idea was to shame them all because, look, you know, this horde of criminal men is going around raping and killing and hurting people. You know, this is what ended up happening to my concubine. But what kind of weird, I don't understand the lesson. The dad gives up the daughter first, and then they're like, no, the concubine somehow gets picked. But if it's strange, first, I'm protecting my family. And Abraham, that's another incident where Abraham is God. What a weird-ass guy. He sends Jesus, right? So what a bitch-ass pussy. He sends his son to earth, the humans in earth that he supposedly had created. He sends Jesus down in order to pay for the sins of that which he created. To suffer and to torture, and then to, you know, get staked up on a cross, and then to die of exposure and starvation and lack of water, whatever that is. It says dying of thirst. So that's what a bitch. And then he tells Abraham, it's like an April Fool's joke to kill his own son. Hey, Abraham, if you really love me, you'll kill your own son. So he takes Jacob and he's about to murder him, and then God's like, hey, chill out. So I need to know that. You know, I need to know all these things from Scott Honeycutt. Scott Honeycutt, do you believe in science? Scott Honeycutt, do you believe in reality? Scott Honeycutt, do you believe in, you know, Newton's 3 laws of motion? Do you believe in Bernoulli's, you know, principle? Do you believe in the Pythagorean theorem? Do you believe that there's, you know, 4 fingers and a thumb? Do you believe there's, you know, sky and there's earth? And do you see, I mean, you don't see the whole world the same way I see it, right? Because God is how you see the whole thing, and there is no God, you know, at all. That it just doesn't exist. So it's just, I need to know these things. I need to know these things. Do you know, Scott Honeycutt, are you going to, you know, sacrifice your own son for the good of humanity? Are you going to sacrifice your own son because God challenged you to, you know, kill your son if you love him? Would you do something like that? Would you even consider something like that? Because I think that's actually the pinnacle of fucking evil. That's, you know, that's the loyalty is what they're asking. How loyal are you to this invisible being up in the clouds? How loyal are you? There's places where, you know, you're supposed to, what, stone the guy? You're supposed to cut him, put him, how was he supposed to kill him too? Well, just slit his throat, just let him bleed out, not even a gunshot to the head, right? Gunshot to the head would be more humane than slitting someone's throat. So Abraham takes Jacob up there, and he's about to that's, the ultimate test, I guess, in loyalty, to kill your own fucking kids, but that means it turns you into a monster. It turns you into a enemy of humanity, enemy of your own species, your own kind. You're killing your own kid, your own lineage, your own progeny, your own future, your own, legacy, your own, you live forever through your kids, so you're going to kill your own, that which you had founded. So it just, that's sick as fuck. I think it's evil. That's evil. You're going to kill your own fucking kids. So, and then he's going to say abortion, right? I think abortion is when the child can live outside the mother. If you're inside the mother and you need the mother to live, then you're kind of just a parasite, right? But if you're big enough to be able to survive on your own, you got a heartbeat, and that's when you're a person. I mean, technically speaking, I guess fertilization, when the cells start dividing, yeah, it is. But it's a bunch, just a bunch of cells, and versus, a heartbeat in a brain, and it's the morning after pill. So he's going to sit there and say that is when life begins, but then he's going to look at religion, and he's going to sit there and say, well, for my God, if I could sacrifice these, people, then that's okay. That's not okay. It's not acceptable. Child abuse. That's another big thing that comes with religion. So are you against child abuse? Scott Honeycutt, do you believe in science? Do you believe in religion? Would you never, please tell me you would never kill your kids for any fucking reason. I want to actually hear you say the opposite. If God told you to kill your kid, tell me that you're so moral and good, you would say, God, kiss my ass. No God of mine would tell me to do something so horrid and so fucking evil. You're not God, you're the devil. Now, only a devil would tell you to kill your own kids. So I need to know that. Scott Honeycutt, the Abraham and Isaac story, or Jacob, whoever it was. It might have been Isaac. It doesn't matter. Abraham didn't even exist anyways, but the story of it, he's not a good person. Moses isn't a good person. They're both, fiction. The flood of Noah, it's Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh was real. Noah was not. The King James Bible, is that that's how you get your understanding of the world? A piece of fiction? Shakespeare wrote some fiction. Clothes, hanger abortions in the alleyways. That's what your God's telling us, huh? That the daughters of the San Luis Valley got to get clothes, hanger abortions in the alleyways. So this invisible man that you believe in, Scott Honeycutt, he comes down to Mary and just warns her and impregnates her without her consent. I don't remember her saying yes, she was warned. So she gets, 3 assholes knocking on her door saying, hey, God's going to, knock you up tonight. And that's what he did. So that's a rapist. Impregnating somebody without their consent. The dirty, rotten rapist son of a bitch. And the bastard sends his own kid to get, tortured and to have to suffer for what he did. You're the one that created it, God. You created humans, you piece of shit. Well, why not a daughter? Why not send your daughter? Why send the son? Because he can take it back. Why don't you fucking go when you fight your own fucking battles, you piece of shit? And then why is God such a dick in the Old Testament? He's like just vicious and stupid and ridiculous. If you wear like the cloth, and if you wear the 2 kinds of the same clothing, cloth and polyester, you'll get stoned to death in Leviticus. So he's a dick in the Old Testament, and just all of a sudden he's a nice. And then that whole Adam and Eve story, really? Just the rib? I mean, Castillo County is the rib county, and then Conejos is the rabbit county, and then Alamosa is the grove of cottonwood trees. So we got cottonwood trees, and we got rabbits, and we got a rib. And with the rib, can we make a woman? We can just pull ribs out of us and just make. That doesn't even. The logic is fucked up. The science is all fucked up. So what the fuck? There's a proto-Adam and a proto-Eve. There was when, the evolution of the chimpanzee or the ape-like creature turned into the human. That would be your first Adam and Eve. There's talking donkeys. Do you believe in the talking donkeys? Do you literally believe every page? Talking donkeys, talking snakes. Have you ever seen a talking donkey and a talking snake? And then what about the dinosaurs? There's no dinosaurs anywhere. Do you believe in dinosaurs, or do you think that's all fiction too? So, how does the dinosaurs fit into your King James Bible? King James is gay. Catholics don't like the Protestants. They also don't like gays. Guy Fawkes tried to overthrow King James. King James, who was a homosexual. Chief Urey was buried in between the Catholics and the Protestants as a symbol of peace. It's a good old Christian Chief Urey. He was one of the Utes. You got the Comanches and the Utes. So Chief Urey is buried in between the Protestants and the Catholics. His death is a symbol of peace. Conejos County, the county of rabbits, is being run by the Republican Mormons. So does that mean I get to have 6 or 7 wives? All these different denominations? What about speaking in tongues? Scott Honeycutt, are you one of those guys that you do that stupid shit? That's not God fucking getting it. It's y'all being fucking weird and stupid. A collective fucking breakdown. I guess you break us down to build us up, huh? So Republican Mormons, Conejos County. Can I get 6 or 7 wives, Conejos County? I'll take 20. I'll take 20 wives. Conejos County, 20 wives here. So I think about the words, Kendrick Lamar, he was the rap king, and then Eminem said he was the rap god, and then Machine Gun Kelly said he's the rap devil. So who is what is which is huh? Which one's better? King. God is better than a king. Devil does provide an opposition to God, but the devil loses to God, I think. I think good should always defeat evil. So that's another thing. As an atheist, you religious motherfuckers and you atheist motherfuckers, have you picked goodness as your core morality? I am good. I am going to continue to be good. I will always do good. Forever. I do good for goodness sake. It makes me feel good. I like being good. So I have chosen goodness. That's not, inevitable. There's, badness too, right? So I need to know that. Scott Honeycutt and the religious. And it's not just Christianity, it's, everybody. So you start thinking that you're going to be able to allow Christian prayer in schools. You're going to have Muslim prayer in schools and Buddhist and devil worshipers. And I like Christians better than devil worshipers. So when it comes to the hierarchy of rap king, rap god, rap devil, Machine Gun Kelly made me think, rap devil, it's an opposition, but good ought to defeat evil. So the God beats the devil too. The devil is God's opposition, and the devil can sometimes be a relatable, tragic figure, but the devil is evil. The devil goes around hurting people and killing people. It's like the devil is like the Old Testament God. That's who the devil is. And then the whore of Babylon is who, that's the Old Testament God is the whore of Babylon. So Nazis were Christians. KKK were Christians. And the KKK lynched a trail of strange fruit Jesus Christ is in the wake of the trees. So the KKK said they're Christian, but went around creating Jesus Christ all over the place, killing innocent men. So what kind of Christian are you? Do you denounce the KKK? Do you denounce the Nazis? Russian czars? A lot of these killers, a lot of these genociders, they call themselves Christians, but aren't Christians opposed to violence? Turn the other cheek. Turn the other cheek. Don't hurt. Don't steal. Don't, do bad things. Be good. Murder is the worst thing. If you can somehow justify murder, some Christians, to a fault, say just never kill no matter what, not even in self-defense. But then the other spectrum, so in every group of people out there, you're going to have good and you're going to have bad. So there's bad and good Christians. There's bad and good Muslims. There's bad and good Jewish folks. And when I think about the person, I do think about the religion. It's an asterisk by their name. But even though I think about the religion, if they're able to be kind and be nice, I believe in the golden rule because it's logical. I'm nice to others, so they'll be nice to me. So you got a right to be stupid, Scott Honeycutt, religiously stupid. You can be as stupid as you want to be when it comes to religion, but I got a right to mock your stupidity religiously. I can mock your stupidity religiously until the end. Christians, because of that Isaac story maybe, or the Jesus story, they love to beat their kids, but really, that's the only way they're going to get their kids to believe that stupid shit is by beating the shit out of their kids. So it's a nice, in fact, that's the only thing I think Christians give a shit about. They're supposed to give a shit about poverty. For 2,000 years, Christians, what the fuck have you done about poverty? Not a fucking thing. Maybe there was, in Blanca, there was some church giving out clothes. There's few churches that actually give out food and pantries and truly give a shit about other people. But it's not a given. It is not a given. So the only way that you're going to believe in that talking snake and talking donkey and, you know, all that stupid dumb shit is if you're terrorized and beaten into submission. That's the only way you're going to believe that dumb fucking brainwashed bullshit. So personally, I think we all should do something better with our time instead of worshiping a priest up on Sunday. What if we all gather together, talk about how we're going to combat poverty instead of actually, you know, worshiping a fucking priest? And then that big-ass building just sits there doing nothing for 6 days a week. It's a good social center. It's, you know, a great opportunity is just being frittered away. I do think an atheist, a church of atheism is a good idea. Atheists, let's just get together. I think politically we need to get together and really just on a reality basis. Let's talk about general relativity. I would love to argue about general relativity and scientific questions, and religion to not even enter the fucking conversation. God, that sounds amazing to me. So I got some questions for you, Scott Honeycutt, and I bet Donald's a, you know, big God believer too. And it's not just Christianity. Don't feel like I'm picking on Christianity. Muslims, I think Muslims are worse because Christians, well, I don't know. I go back and forth on it. Islam accepts Christianity, Jesus as a prophet, but they think that Muhammad's the next step, just like Christianity adopts Judaism, right? The Torah is the beginning of the Bible, but then Jesus was a Jew, but then Jesus, you know, if you're a follower of Jesus, you're a Christian, so he's the next step. Moses is the first prophet, Jesus is the second prophet, so the Christians have advanced too. Then the Islamic people think that, so the Islamic people accept Jesus as a prophet, whereas the Christians do not accept Muhammad as a prophet. But Muhammad was not a good man. Muhammad was a pedophile, a gigantic pedophile. There was a womanizer. He was having sex with everybody. He was a killer. So he had, you know, code. He believed in something. But this is just a completely different code than what I understand to be right and wrong. And since Muhammad was a killer, he's a warrior, there's apostasy. If you try to leave the religion, they'll kill you. And because he's a pedophile, this is their prophet. This is their main, you know, Jesus. The men are supposed to be like Jesus Christ, and then the women are supposed to be like the Virgin Mother, right? Mary, the mother. So those are the idols in Christianity. To emulate Jesus is the ultimate. So that would be the same. Muhammad is the main prophet. Muhammad is the main person for the Islamic folks. So that's their Jesus, a pedophile, a killing pedophile, murdering, womanizing, you know, over-sexualized, murdering pedophile, a fucking pedophile. So does that mean that you got a whole entire religion full of pedophiles? It seems to be the most glaring thing right there. Not even South Park is allowed to poke fun at, you know, Muhammad. You can't say his image. You can't talk about him. Well, maybe because he's a fucking pedophile? Is that why you don't want to say a goddamn word or see his image, or, you know, just, you don't want to actually talk his name out? He's a fucking pedophile, so it's like a big-ass fucking glaring thing, and they just didn't want to admit to it. So Muhammad's just like Jesus, right? Only more Rambo-like when it comes to murdering. Jesus turned the other cheek and got beat up, whereas Muhammad's like, you know, let's fucking kill these motherfuckers. And then Jared from Subway. So he's like a Rambo man, Jared from Subway combined, right? That's the kind of Jesus Muhammad is. So that's fucked up. And they believe in apostasy, so if your kid is stuck in the Muslim religion and you try to get out, they'll kill you. The ultimate, you pay the ultimate price. You pay the ultimate price for apostasy. You jump into the religion, and you get out. You know, if you're born into the religion, you never had a choice to begin with. And so if you leave, you're fucking killed. It's fucking crazy. That's, you know, there's excommunication. There was shit like that back in the days with the Christians. But I think living in America, the Christians have become better. You know, they're not this fucking crazy. But not all of them. There's fundamentalists. You know, there's fundies. The Buddhists, I think the Buddhists are okay because they're trying to, like, you know, just be at peace with the world. But then I've also heard they're sexist. So just, I don't know, fuck religion. Confucius was interesting. I wouldn't worship the man, but he, said a lot of interesting phrases. And then on the Jews, don't even get me started on the Jews. I'm an anti-theist, okay? I'm a realityist. I believe in reality. I believe in logic and science. I believe that which I can see. If there's an invisible man in the clouds, go fuck yourself. You're crazy. You're insane, I'm an atheist with the Jesus complex. I think Jesus, the golden rule, do unto others as you have them, it's so logical and perfect. So I'm actually an anti-theist. I think religion does more harm than good. So, that's who I am. I'm just one of those crazy, insane reality and science and logic and evidence conspiracy kind of people. And I just had a couple questions for Scott Honeycutt when it comes to his religion. So, yeah. Policy-wise, what does Scott Honeycutt's Christianity mean? Policy-wise. More abortions because he's going to crack down on abortions? Is there going to be more child abuse? Is there going to be more Christian shit all over the fucking place? And is it going to be the good Christianity, or is it going to be KKK Christianity? Is it going to be killing a bunch of black people? It's only 0.2% black folks here, so it would seem like Christianity would defend, the minority. So, I got some questions. Child abuse, where's he at on child abuse? And anything else that might be related to religion. Anything else policy-wise that when he speaks about, he can be religious, he can be stupid, but when he's passing laws based upon that stupidity, well, that's when he goes a little overboard. In my opinion, of course.